The Old School is brought to you by Ahart Solutions, which provides school surveys and applied research. More information at ahartsolutions.com. Good morning. Welcome to the Old School Podcast, a podcast about the American education system, though we have not touched on that in a while, and we won't today. But we also do all sorts of things: cultural, historical, travel, you name it, history. And with me in that endeavor is my good friend, Dr. Stephen Bourgeois. Good morning, sir.
Hey, Miller.
What's going on?
Nothing. We did a field trip today. It's fun. We brought you to my house.
Yes. For those of you who think we do Zoom because we live hundreds of miles away from one another, we don't. We live like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. He moved closer. It used to be like 13. Now it's
10.
10 and a turn. You can be at Mr. Miller's door waiting for some food.
So it's a bit of a mystery why we don't do this more often.
We should. I think our playful banter was better. It can't be any worse, technically.
Well, you wouldn't think. So anyway, well, so I came across something a couple weeks ago that I don't understand, and maybe you can help me.
Okay. I solve problems. That's all I do.
All right. So 2 weeks ago was me and the missus. It was our anniversary. Why are you laughing?
Well, are you going to age yourself and tell us how many years?
It's 22 years.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. I do sometimes mess up on the year of when we got married.
You get old, your memory slips a little bit.
But my wife still judges me. Even though she doesn't say it out loud, I know inside she's judged me. But anyway, hello, honey. I know you're listening to this.
It's a whole other episode being judged.
So anyway, so we go to this nice seafood restaurant in downtown Fort Worth. It's in a hip, cool section where a bunch of hipsters hang out with beards and man purses and the whole thing. And so we go to the seafood restaurant. Hey, listen, if you're into man purses, hey, I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum. So you do you, boo. But
what was all that? Just
talking to the kids. So anyway, so we do the restaurant. It's a good restaurant, very nice. I had me a lobster roll.
Okay, a good one that held up to your.
It held up, yes.
Okay.
Now I didn't order the crab cake because I'm still a little gun shy about ordering
lobster rolls. That's impressive.
So anyway, so we go and then we decide to go walk around the neighborhood where the seafood restaurant is, and it's a nice little hip, kind of cool place.
Yeah.
And as we're walking around, I start seeing these people with these frizzy red froze wigs and these like silk nightgowns.
What?
That like go down past their knee.
What kind of neighborhood was this?
Well, and the thing was, it was everywhere. And I was confused. I didn't understand. It was clearly some sort of organized thing because I would imagine roughly 30% of the people we ran into or we walked past or we saw on our walk had this get up on.
What does the wig look like? I mean, you say frizzy. Is it like
it's like a frizzy, curly red?
That's a little weird. Like
it is
Joker or something.
Well, yeah, not quite that scary, but okay, I mean, it was a red curly haired fro wig. And then my wife realized what it was. There are around the United States Mrs. Roper's fan clubs.
Oh no.
Or something like that.
You're talking about from
Three's Company.
And
so apparently what they do is that the various groups in the various towns along the highways and byways of America, they will organize events where they all dress up the same way. And then they just go out and hit a particular part of town that they probably would hit anyway, except this time to dress up like Mrs. Roper.
But they lived there?
I don't know if they lived there.
So they're populating towns everywhere?
Well, I mean, whoever is made up of this group, they obviously would join the group that's closest to them.
Can you tell people about Three's Company? Because that's like really before most people are born.
Well, we have an older demographic. I bet you most people know Three's Company.
No.
It's a show about these two girls that had an apartment, and this one guy wanted the apartment, and he had no other place to live. This is California. And the problem was that the landlord, the person in charge of the apartments, didn't approve of men and women living together if they weren't married. And so the guy played by John Ritter was pretended to be gay,
but he wasn't.
but he wasn't.
And the girls were rather appealing. And it was, so there was this weird comedy, physical comedy tension happening.
Sexual innuendos and hijinks ensued.
But Mrs. Roper is a very small character. She would have a little scene. People always liked her though.
And she was only at the end, because remember, it was Mr. Roper that was the guy that was mostly seen in the beginning of the show.
Yeah,
and then Mrs. Roper becomes more.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Roper died or something.
This is a lot of talk about the Ropers. but she had always had, did she wear a wig?
No, I just think that was her hair.
Okay.
And so now you've got people walking around. I can only assume, from my mind's eye, I can only assume this is one of the signs of the apocalypse. But I'm not sure.
Seeing a bunch of Ropers running around.
Yeah, seeing a bunch of Mrs. Ropers walking around.
What did you think at the time? I mean,
I had no idea.
Were you frightened? Were you interested? Did you talk to them?
Frightened.
Well, I mean, if
frightened.
It could have been a Joker thing where people are going to pull out guns or something.
Is it some sort of culling? Some sort of night where you get to kill as many people as possible?
No, there was a theater shooting in Aurora. Where is Colorado, where somebody dressed up as the Joker and went in a theater and shot a bunch of people.
That didn't occur to me.
Okay, that would have been my first thing.
That would have been your first thought?
Yeah, because I would never think about Mrs. Roper. I thought, why are these people? But these were women, or were they men too?
There were some men too. Most of them are women, but there were a couple of guys dressed up as Mrs. Roper as well. I don't know what that was about. I just assumed just part of the game.
So what do they do?
They just do whatever they were going to do, except they're doing it dressed as Mrs.
That's
Roper.
Really stupid. So they're just going to restaurants, walking in public.
They were eating at restaurants. They were at bars. They were walking down the street. They had their dogs. The dogs weren't wearing a wig.
They didn't do anything unique, but just the hair.
Just the hair and the silk gown.
Oh, that's right. She always wore it was a
kimono.
It was something like you wore at night and day.
Yes. If you did a lot of day drinking, this is what you would imagine someone would wear if they did a lot of day drinking.
That was kind of the vibe too. Okay.
So anyway,
so they were drinking. That's the part I missed. So it was people are out drinking.
Well, yeah, they're just doing whatever they do.
So sort of strange. I wonder what their motivation is.
I don't get I mean, maybe it's funny if a bunch of people are doing it, but I mean,
but they're older. I mean, are there young people who maybe?
No, that's just it. These people would never have seen.
They were too young
to have seen Three's Company. Yes. I guarantee you nobody old enough to see Three's Company was dressed up like Mrs. Roper the night I saw all these people. These were all people. And this is what, listen, I have a love-hate relationship with the hipsters and the new kiddos. They are bringing some good things back. They are bringing some things back that I can appreciate, but I don't know where this came from, and I don't know why this maybe one of our listeners knows.
Okay, so this is the theme of the show is things that we might want to bring back or we probably don't, because that's when we don't. I mean, I don't understand it.
So so last week we talked about what the hell we
the dinner party.
We talked about the dinner party.
We advocated to bring back the dinner party.
Yes, and we had a pretty good reaction from that episode. A lot of people
people are saying it was a really good episode.
The word on the street is that it could be one of our best.
It could be breaking all kinds of records.
And so what we thought we'd do is and this isn't going to be like a sandwich thing where we're just going to talk about this for the next couple episodes.
That was a great episode. I love that. We had to do it in 2 parts.
Yeah, go back and check out the sandwich episodes.
A lot of people left the podcast at that point.
Yeah, we lost about half our audience, and we didn't have many to begin with. But I stand by that sandwich episode. Damn it, that was a good episode.
Check it out.
Anyway, so we thought we'd take a look at some things that were from the 70s that are no longer around, and because I think we can both admit the 70s are not as great as people make it out to be, but there are some things that perhaps have some continued merit to be practiced today.
It's possible. I mean, we always look back. I mean, we would say, first of all, clearly the music was better, at least for us at that time.
That goes without saying. That's full stop.
But and we can do some cursory things. The TV shows, with the laugh tracks, and I mean, they don't really
They don't
hold
hold
up.
up. No.
No, and I mean, you take that laugh track out of there, and there'd be a lot of weird silence today,
Yes.
but they were edgy at the time, and I think edginess creates some strange, uncomfortable
There's some good
humor.
movies.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Movies are different, but I think the dividing line is the laugh track. If there's a laugh track, I mean, even some of these, what we would call great shows. I think watching Taxi is a great show. Cheers, Barney Miller, they had laugh tracks, and
Yes.
so the kids today look at that and they just don't, they want it to stop
Yeah.
because of the laugh track alone. Because there's always somebody in the back kind of guffawing this loud
Yeah.
laugh that can't, and it's probably a plant. And they say they say a live audience, sometimes a live studio audience,
Okay.
but I don't hold with it. I think they were done, just after the fact.
But that's when they started saying that because there was a bit of a pushback against the laugh track, and so they had to.
That's
They
right. They
they
put them
did
in studios.
they put the disclaimer in the beginning saying, "Oh, by the way, these are real people laughing at these jokes,
But
folks."
what a pain. I mean, they're not making a play.
No.
I mean, they're doing all these little cuts. And so, I mean, if you've been on a movie set, there's a lot of sitting around.
Have you
You
been
know,
on a movie set?
yeah,
Okay.
I was. I was an extra on the film Personal Best.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, right when I was starting college. It was filmed at Hayward Field, and it was outdoors. And got to watch a lot of that. But there were lots of breaks.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I got to see Mariel Hemingway as a track star.
Ooh.
Quiet over there.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was the film. But the part that I was being an extra for was the outdoor stuff, trying to
Yeah.
make it look like a track meet. But there was so much waiting around. So imagine in a studio where they're filming Happy Days or something. It's a lot of waiting around, and suddenly you do something for the audience. I don't know.
I don't know.
It doesn't feel right. I think they were pulling some strings, and I didn't like it.
I want to thank you for bringing up Mariel Hemingway.
Wow.
I loved her as a boy. Her and those commercials she did with James Garner, the Polaroid. Remember the Polaroid commercials?
Yeah, I think.
She was gorgeous.
Oh, well, yeah,
Yeah. So
for sure.
if we're talking about things from the bygone era,
Yeah, yeah, no.
she needs to be brought back the way she was in the 70s. I don't know if she's dead, but I mean,
No, come on. She's doing fine. She had a good film career, TV, and I got to watch her from afar for about 2 weeks straight.
we need to look it up that she's still alive. So
Where she is.
there's no way. Well, no,
Don't look on your phone.
I'm
Don't
gonna
look
put
at technology.
I'm gonna,
So this is
we don't
something.
do technology. We're surrounded by 3 screens. What are you talking
So
about?
going back to the 70s, you would call the librarian right now. And you would dial, you would wait for the phone to dial. It takes a little bit longer than Ross is doing a text with his big thumbs. She lives probably in Colorado or someplace. Not that I would know. Or Idaho. Idaho.
She was born in 61.
Yes.
In Idaho.
She probably lives in Idaho.
She probably lives in Idaho.
Yeah. It seems like that would make sense.
That's a weird.
What's a Hemingway? They like the outdoors.
This isn't her, is it?
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah,
Is that her?
Mariel
Okay.
Hemingway, yeah.
Um, she went to Boston University.
Okay.
Right.
Do we need to start the podcast
Well,
over?
no, I'm just saying.
What?
Anyway,
I don't-
apparently she's still alive.
Yeah.
God bless her.
Okay. Well, she's like a year.
That's not. There's no way that's her.
She's
It
a
says
year
she's
older.
63.
She's a year older than me. Yeah. Yeah. No. This is her sister. She was younger. Oh my God. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
There's Margot Hemingway, which you're looking up, and then there's Marielle. And
Well, this is Mariel. This is
no, it
Mariel.
isn't. It was-
Mariel Hemingway.
Okay, then there it is.
Well, anyway. All right.
Good Lord.
Glad we got that sorted out, though.
Okay.
But anyway, so you think about things that represent the 70s that are no longer with us. And the question is, how many of these things should be brought back?
Yeah, like all these actors are dying every day. We were worried about Mariel Hemingway a minute ago, but we'd lift a glass to people. Ross will text me when somebody passes away, typically from the 70s.
Oh, you know who just died?
Oh no,
Ace Frehley.
I don't know who that is.
He's from Kiss.
The band?
Yes.
Okay. This is going to be a lost episode. Ace Frehley. No,
Ace Frehley. Okay. All right. So first thing,
yeah.
from the 70s.
Okay. Thank goodness.
Smoking on airplanes
Well, on airplanes.
or just
Uh,
smoking anywhere,
no,
smoking in
no.
restaurants.
But yeah, I can remember that they had a smoking section, I think in the front of the airplane. It could have been in the back, maybe probably in the back. But yeah, so you had to pick smoking, and clearly you could smell the smoke everywhere.
Yeah. So
So enclosed place, it's not that big. What a stupid idea.
that's like a 10 by 10 box having a
Yeah,
smoking section. This is like, doesn't make any sense.
yeah. I mean, they could be smoking right next to you, because maybe you could only get a smoking ticket because the non-smoking ones are probably fewer people
Here's the shocking thing. I'm sure, like you, I spent many of my youth in smoke-filled bars.
constantly. Well, no, I did. I tried. I did. I wasn't in bars like you, hair filler, smoke or anything.
But you walked in and it didn't register that it was a smoke-filled bar. You just assumed that's what the bar smelled like. It wasn't anything that was different. It's
Yeah,
not like
it's just a bar. Yeah,
it's
you
just a
don't call it
bar.
a smoke filled
Yeah.
anything. That's
And so, but now, how many times, say in the last 10 years, have you walked into a place where people are smoking and it threw you?
yeah. They, in fact, didn't we walk out of a restaurant? Were you with me? We were
It
gonna
sounds
go.
familiar.
Weren't we going someplace and it smelled like smoke so much that we left? Maybe that was.
I think that we did do that one time.
Yeah, yeah. It rings a bell, but yeah, it's hard to imagine a restaurant people sitting right next to you.
So I was driving last weekend. I was driving through South Texas, and
Yeah,
I was in the middle of, I think the technical term is BFE. And I go into this gas station, and it's a gas station, but they also have a bar, and they have like they got TV, the Red Rivalry, whatever thing that's playing, and then people were smoking, and it threw me.
it was a restaurant or a bar.
It was a bar slash gas station convenience store.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot going on.
This is pretty far south.
It was really far south. And like I said, we were in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And people were smoking. And it just reminded me of every place I used to walk into when I was a kid. I noticed it. I wasn't turned off necessarily because it was only like a couple of people smoking, but I did notice it.
Yeah. And in some ways, it makes sense in bars. Restaurants, certainly not.
No.
But there's something about the idea of it. If it's anywhere, it would be in bars.
So you would be up for bringing smoking back in bars.
A certain kind of bars. But there would have to be a kind of a seedy type bar.
Yeah.
But not a. I mean, we don't even, maybe we need to bring back seedy places. But a nice, real nice bar now. So
Yeah, bars are too nice nowadays.
they are. Yeah.
Gentrified and fancy, and they've got artisanal starters and appetizers,
Yeah. You're supposed to get
just
what
wings,
and fries and
mozzarella sticks.
peanuts, peanuts on the floor. Yeah,
Sounds like you're talking about a honky tonk.
yeah, but I think what we're getting at is that
Things are better
things are better now.
without the cigarette smoke.
Oh, I think in general,
With
but the rough side of society has been smoothed over so much. It's been Disneyfied, whatever, Disneyfied.
it does look like you're stepping into something that's not real.
Yeah,
But
that's
that place I walked into last weekend in
Yeah.
South Texas,
Yeah.
that very much felt real.
Yeah. So if we would wake up from being frozen for 30 years and be a 1970s 20-year-old or whatever, and look now at what we call a bar, we think, what is
Right.
this? Wait,
Yeah.
this is not a bar. This is something.
Now, when you go to a bar,
Yeah.
paying with checks. When's the last time you paid anything with a check?
I think somebody came to the house yeah, we had our piano moved.
Contractors.
Yeah, and that was a rare one. Um, but it was just going to be easier. There was a fee or something if it was, I don't know, but somehow it seemed easier to break out the check for, something like that, a piano tuner. Somebody comes to the house probably because you don't really, I'm not going to say I don't trust the credit card, but this feels easier if they offer a check. It's no risk on your side. Just
Write
do
the
it.
check.
But it took a good amount of time to find the checkbook because I mean, I
Oh,
don't.
they didn't tell you ahead of time that we only take checks?
No, and they did take the card, so I could have, but they would have to go out to the car to get the little thing, and I said, I'm
Yeah.
going to write you a check. But I mean, I don't receive checks in my business.
Mhm.
Rarely, everything's digital now, and no, I don't write checks.
So I think we're better without checks, but I will say this. I think, excuse me, I think that the credit cards have kind of jumped on this. And this is where the airline points comes in. Because I think with a card, you have less of an idea of how much money you're spending
Yeah.
as opposed to a check or with cash. And so, as far as the difference between using a check as opposed to using something digital, I grant you, digital is a heck of a lot easier. But I do think that you lose a kind of a tactile understanding of how much you're spending.
Oh yeah. I mean, American Airlines. Everybody has an American Airlines app. Do you have one?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, well, yeah, because
That's
it's the airline that we get points for
yeah, but
and that we use. So it's easier because you have to show your ticket thing.
yeah.
And so,
But I don't know if you can do it now, but you should be able to just show them the app, like scan the boarding pass, and you pay for your drink.
mhm,
I don't know if they do that. You still give the credit card.
right.
But I bet eventually they're going to have American Airline bucks. You can drink as much as you want, eat, and they'll start charging you for everything if that happens.
Yeah, I think this is all building up to something where we're gonna lose a lot of money.
It's the mark of the beast. It's that phone.
Pretty soon, we'll have an AI American Airlines chip in our arm that we just wave our arm in front of the bar and it
Yeah.
pays for.
Oh yeah, yeah. The phone is going to be internal now.
That is the mark of the beast, actually.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Of course it is. Um, and it has a number. But but
And that number is 600.
the
They used to scare me. Did you probably never listen to Iron Maiden?
no,
So
I listened to Kiss. No, I didn't listen to either of them. Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden had an album called Number of the Beast.
Really?
And so they had this really dramatic actor at the beginning of the beginning of the album.
That sounds cool.
That is basically he's basically reading the passage from Revelation
Yeah,
about
this is wisdom. That really kind of will tease it up pretty well.
well, it just heightened the notion that they
Yeah,
were already listening to a satanic album, and so now all of a sudden
that's great.
they're quoting the Bible.
Yeah, what a terrible way to spend the day, everybody. What are you doing? Um,
Waiting for long distance calls.
what do you mean waiting?
Well, like you'd have to talk to the operator, say, operator, I'm gonna make a long distance call.
Oh, then they had to go wait.
And then
Yeah,
they
it
did the
was a.
connection because you couldn't dial directly from.
That's right. Yeah, really a long time ago. So there was this way they had to get the person on the line. You didn't just they didn't trust you to call it directly. I guess. I mean, yeah. So you had to be connected.
It required a technology that was beyond our phones at home.
We didn't even did we didn't dial twice either. So we got to the international operator or any
Oh, we
operator.
just talked to the operator.
This is local. I mean, this is within the
Yeah,
country.
and then the kind. Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
even talking about.
Did you say the number first? You just dialed zero.
I think you just dial zero to talk to the operator,
And then
then
she'd
the
say,
operator.
what number would you want?
Yeah, and then
You
you
would
give.
say it out loud.
Yeah,
And then she would dial it. And then if your Uncle Frank or whatever wouldn't answer, they'd say,
no one's home.
and then he'd say, you can keep the dime.
How many Jim Croce references are we gonna make today?
Yeah, talking about inefficient, but the operators are all very nice.
Yeah,
Good customer service.
they're probably a little bored.
Yeah, but I mean, think about how many long distance calls we make now.
Yeah,
You would have to call an operator for every one of them. Where did they live? Where did they work?
I don't know.
I mean, that's a lot of freaking.
In the area? Because it would
Oh,
have to be,
local operator.
yeah,
They'd
the
have to be
local
local.
operator,
Yeah, for
and
the
then they
phone.
would then connect you
It was a
to.
monopoly
Yeah,
back in the monopoly days when there was just
this is
AT&T.
this is when Ma Bell controlled everything, and
Yeah,
so
didn't have any cell phones, so yeah,
we're probably better without that.
yeah, it's a long distance call. That's right.
Yeah.
And then you'd run to the phone, uh, or you could do a collect call. Remember those?
Yeah, those are always tense though, because what if they didn't accept the call?
Yeah,
So when
because
I called, when I
so the
called,
person you call had to pay for it.
I had to call my parents
Yeah.
from like some army, Marine base or what have you,
You were like
in the Marine Corps,
yeah, yeah,
and then
overseas.
oh, I have a quick call from Ross Miller.
Or,
We accept? No, hell no. We driving his mother crazy with all these stories about the war. So
oh my God, what if you call late at night, middle of the night? We
then
have a call from he says his name is Ross Miller.
is he in jail? I don't believe he's calling from jail, sir. But all right,
Oh,
we'll take the call then.
okay, yeah,
And then you probably don't know about this, but and I think I brought it up briefly
okay,
before somewhere. But there used to be like in rural country, in the rural part of the country, they would have party lines.
yeah,
So basically everybody on the street, if there was like enough people,
right,
everybody on the street would basically have the same telephone line.
right,
And so you would pick up, and if there you got a dial tone, that means the line was free.
right.
But if you heard someone talking, then
It,
you had to hang up and wait,
you couldn't
or you
just
might,
listen to, yeah.
well, some people did, but I mean, but you could you could maybe butt in and say, I'm so sorry to bother
Sorry,
you.
John.
Yeah, sorry, John. How long y'all gonna be? And then you maybe
Man,
get the call back or
nicer era. Um,
but it was a dependency that people had on one another that
yeah,
required them to kind of cooperate to
it was nice.
yeah.
I mean, even in your house. I mean, if you had three phone lines
Yeah.
and you wanted to make a phone call, you didn't know anybody else was on the phone. You picked it up, someone was talking, sorry about that, and you would quietly, very quietly hang it up.
That's probably when you were most likely to keep listening, though. If it
Oh,
was like your sister calling
no, I didn't.
somebody or
No, you need to respect people's privacy. I can't believe you did that.
I'm not saying I did it.
It
I'm just
sounds
saying
like you did that. Uh,
so
wow. But that wasn't that long ago. I mean,
not too long ago.
so we don't want to bring any of that back. Though the operators were pretty nice.
They were nice people,
Yeah, yeah, I
but
liked them.
I'm sure they're doing something better now.
Maybe.
I'd like to think so. How about hitchhiking? Did you ever hitchhike?
No, I was scared. No,
You never hitchhiked.
I don't think so. I don't know. And I don't think we ever picked up a hitchhiker. And it's possible. I'm sure my family members did a little hitchhiking, but I was a little young during that craze. Did you hitchhike?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
I mean, you stand on the. I mean, it sounds like we're talking like we're just 1,000 years ago. I mean, imagine being on the side of the road, putting your thumb out in the direction you're going, and some car pulls over very quickly.
Yeah.
You and you jump in.
Yeah. It's
It's
like
like a Lyft
no,
driver. It's
you
like Uber, but there's no anything. It's just it's seeing you.
it is just like Uber actually.
But it's different because people could be.
Well, you would
There's no vetting process. They don't know where you're going. You could just
how much
jump in and go across the country with them
how
for all you
much do
know.
you think Uber and Lyft vet their drivers?
Oh, there's all kinds of things. They ask them their
Their social security
yeah,
number?
maybe their height. They take a picture of them. It's still better than just a some Chevy whatever driving. I just picture it
Chevy Nova pulling up.
I just picture dirty roads, in the
Dirty road.
country. I mean, you don't like hitchhike in the city or in suburbia. It's more of a country thing, wasn't it?
Well, I did it in some well, I guess it's more country. But I used to have to sometimes because both my parents worked, and so if I had to get from work so I would go to work sometimes after school, and then I would hitchhike from work to home, and more times than not, I can get a ride fairly easily. Or, um, I remember one of the checkout girls gave me a ride home one time, and I was very excited. But anyway, so it's just the idea of getting a ride from one place to
Perfect
the other.
strangers, and you talk with them. You sit right in the front seat?
Wouldn't it be creepier if I didn't talk to them?
But yeah, but you always sit in the front seat.
Yes.
Yeah, and you have a
Yeah, this
conversation.
ain't a limo. I'm not sitting in the back, you know.
But I mean, if you're hitchhiking on a freeway,
I
it
didn't
could be
hitchhike.
LA to New York, for
Right.
all you know.
I never hitchhiked on a freeway.
Okay.
All mine were like not country roads, but they were kind of like quasi suburbia roads.
How old are you?
15, 16.
And your parents like you doing that?
That wasn't their favorite, but that was the only way that I could get home because they were either tied up or some other thing.
Why
And
didn't
so,
you have a car? You were 15.
well, because yeah, I don't think I got my license until after 16,
Oh,
and then even then we didn't have a we didn't have a fleet of cars outside waiting to take the Audi son. So, so if both my parents were using the cars, then I was still out of luck, even if I had a driver's license.
Yeah, sounds incredibly dangerous today. You're right. It's not any more dangerous than taking a Uber or Lyft from people.
It does make you wonder, because my sense of it is, because I don't see hitchhikers. My
Yeah,
sense of it is people don't do it
it's
anymore.
illegal. It has to be.
There are places like near prisons where you're not allowed to pick up hitchhikers, but
Oh yeah, they have signs that don't
yeah,
do it,
don't
which
pick.
means it is a thing. And just like littering's a thing because they have signs that don't do it.
Yeah.
Um,
So I don't think it's against the law.
okay, it's just against better judgment
Well,
often.
certainly that, but
But what about the other side of it? Have you ever picked up a hitchhiker?
yes, twice, twice, 3 times, something like that. Yes.
Were they male or female?
Well, they were male.
Really?
You'd have to be a pretty ballsy female to be hitchhiking
It
because that's,
happens.
I
Well,
mean,
it happens in the movies all the time.
well, no, but I mean, if it's dangerous for a guy,
Yeah,
I would think the danger equation goes up considerably for a young lady.
I don't know. I think back in the 70s, people were really comfortable.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
back
yeah.
then, I mean, it was just, yeah, fine.
I think women did it, but I just think it was a much dicier proposition.
I guess so. Or they do it with pairs,
Yeah,
two women,
or a couple.
a couple. Yeah,
Yes,
man and a woman
yeah,
dressed up in their finery hitchhiking.
yes, like Bonnie and Clyde.
With little suitcases that look like violins.
Hey, do you play the accordion? Speaking of music,
Mm,
recording songs off the radio.
off the radio. So that meant that you
That's your
had to have,
mixtape.
yeah, but you had to have kind of a boombox type
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, you would just wait for that song to come up and hit.
And hope the DJ didn't talk over the intro too much or
Yeah, yeah, that was the beginning of the mixtape. And yeah, I did that all the time. Yeah, the radio was the only way to do that. Or I guess you could copy your records
yeah,
later on,
yeah.
but I think that was the first step. Um,
How
so,
many people so I read somewhere that 70%, I may be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure I remember this. 70% of Americans still listen to terrestrial radio, meaning they tune into a tower and they listen to whatever, be it music or the news or what have you.
they're not like driving to Spotify.
Yeah, they're not tuned into some streaming service or XM radio or something like Sirius or what have you. They're listening to actual terrestrial radio.
They're, it is surprising because they don't get to choose, and that's the big thing today. Is you get to choose your podcast, choose who you're listening to, choose the song, choose the order, whatever, and don't listen to commercials. And all those things are gone in radio. They have commercials. They have people suddenly these news breaks, but people still like that apparently.
I think people like it. I think it's also easier. I mean, without having to constantly sit there and be messing with your phone to try to make sure that you get whatever you want to get. Here, you just put it on. My daughter, she thinks that music only comes from Spotify. I tried to get her, I said, listen, why don't you find a radio station? And she's like, what? It's such a foreign concept to her because I don't know if any of her friends listen to the radio. And so I don't know if this 70% is going to last because it does not seem like
Mhm.
the youngest of us, my kids'
Yeah,
age.
it's going away.
It's
I
going,
think it's going away quickly. The radio stations used to be pretty generic. I mean,
Mhm,
you would have a pop music and then one probably a little bit edgier,
mhm,
and that's it. I mean, particularly AM radio, but also FM.
right.
So, but you tended to have the shared experience, and now everybody has such different tastes that nobody knows the same music. I
Yeah,
mean, like we know all the same music.
right. Because we just come from that age where and not only were we listening to the same stuff, but we actively shared stuff. You
Yeah,
would go to a friend's house, you
yeah,
could look through their record collection, you
yeah,
would play something that you'd not heard before,
yeah,
or maybe something that both of y'all liked. I mean, it was a kind of a communal thing to listen to music.
yeah. And you listen to the songs thousands of times,
Yeah.
and you developed. Um, this idea that that's part of your life,
Right.
and so it's a little bit more superficial now, I think, but it's a shared space, and I think we're missing the, I mean, and that's a interesting example of a shared space. You're still in your car,
Hmm.
your home, but it's still a shared
Yeah.
experience, and I guess we're missing that.
I think there's a quaintness though to the mixtapes. And I think people still make it, but they don't record it off the radio.
No,
And so
yeah, we can do it on Spotify.
you can make your playlist, or you can make you can make an actual CD or tape if you wanted to.
And then the Spotify itself can give you suggestions that it
Yeah.
plays that are similar.
If you
Here,
like
try
this
this.
song,
Yeah,
then you'll
try
like,
this.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I never thought of that. Shut up. I want my list. Get away from me.
I do hate it, but Spotify has a thing where if you play a playlist,
Yeah.
it will interject
Yeah,
with its own
that's
ideas.
right. Yeah.
And so I turn that off. I was
Oh,
like, I don't need your ideas. I know what I want to listen to. And so I turn that feature off. But
well, you and I have shared playlists. In fact, I listened to the Ross Miller, Bill Evans um, often. In fact, usually when I'm heading to your house,
you listen to
I do,
that.
or we're gonna go have breakfast. It's a thing. I'll listen to Bill Evans.
So I do have a playlist
Yeah,
for most of the styles of music that I
yeah,
like. And then I have a couple of artist specific playlists that I
yeah.
have.
Those are good.
And Bill Evans
But you
being
made a really good one, and somehow I don't know. It's weird, but I will play that when I go to your house.
all right.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
What about televisions that sign off at 11 or 12? The
Did
the
that happen? Was it
the color pattern past a certain point, they would just there was no 24-hour.
right after Johnny Carson?
Yeah, it would go to that multicolored
Yeah, you had
thing.
like yellow and
Yeah.
yeah, a few colors. And it made this loud noise if you didn't turn down the sound.
Yeah.
Right? It had a tone.
It did have a tone. Um and okay, so here's my thing.
Uh-huh.
It's not that I have an issue with 24-hour networks or channels anymore. I think where it has hurt us is in the quote unquote news category, because ultimately, when you have 24 hours of programming to fill,
Hmm.
you will go in one of two directions. You will either create really in depth, comprehensive content, or you will do a bunch of yelling and screaming and superficial silliness,
Arguing,
arguing.
arguing, politicking.
And unfortunately, the arguing gets better ratings, even though people always say they don't like the arguing on TV. They like it on some level because they keep watching it.
They argue when they tell the news now.
Yeah, now there's like, Trump did this. No, he didn't. It's right there when he did it. I saw it.
Well, they're fact checking people while they're actually talking.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you listening to me? No, I'm fact checking you. Make sure you're telling. But I mean, it's
of course, what he's saying, he's lying.
yeah. Of course, I hate him and everything he stands for. I disagree with him, but I respect him.
Well, go back to your initial thing of the television stopping.
Yeah,
That's so abrupt today. The idea that you can't watch anything between midnight and like 6 a.m.
I think that we have, over the last 20 or 30 years, learned what happens when we are left to our own devices. And so I sometimes wonder if it wouldn't be better
Just
if
read
everything just
books.
shut down starting at 11 or midnight or what have you, and
Yeah,
don't kick back on till like 7 or 8 the next morning.
yeah. You had like the midnight special, and that was really late,
Hmm.
and but it would still stop at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the local channels. Didn't they go on all night?
Mine didn't.
Yeah, it seemed like, well, because a lot of people didn't have local channels, they just had the three
Yeah, it just
networks.
has the three networks. So
That's right. Then it was over. But I agree with you on the 24-hour news that has created. I mean, it used to be you would have the 6 o'clock news,
mhm,
and everybody would watch it, and they would have to decide, here are the 10 stories
mhm.
that we're gonna show. I think that, and they put a lot of thought into one of those stories. But now I think they have to put a lot of time with arguing.
So one of the last things we could bring up
Oh,
is the rotary phone. And I remember hearing someone talk about how we needed to bring it back. And check this out. There are actually parents who, in attempt to either get their kid off or keep their kid initially off social media and phones, are giving their kids either the long corded, touch-tone phone or even an old rotary phone, which I didn't think worked anymore. I didn't think you could use those anymore. But people are using these kind of older phones that are basically for the purposes of comparing it to an iPhone. They're analog, they just they just do the phone. That's all they do.
So that's really stupid because, because kids don't talk to each other on the phone ever. I mean, it would be so creepy to get a phone call. They go, "Ew, what do you do?" I
My
mean,
kid talks on phone.
well, but most kids don't call each other. I mean, first of
Mine
all, they
does.
text. I mean, they're going to text first.
They do.
Imagine
She does
it's
do.
like a cold call in business. If you
Yes.
just call, I mean, you'll call. This is Ross. Of course,
Yes.
you know it's Ross because,
Yes.
but there was no caller ID, and you would just have to pick up the phone and you would say hello, and then they would have to introduce themselves.
I think without that, we have become a people that cannot handle spontaneous conversation.
That's it. Yeah.
But I think that's a problem. Not that I'm suggesting that because of that, we need to go back to rotary phones because that's silly too. But what I'm saying is that the idea I can appreciate them saying, because my daughter does make phone calls. I appreciate
It's
the
rare.
notion of
Rare.
it's rare. Well, I don't know, but there does seem to be a movement where people are going to that, where the kids want a phone, not the rotary phone.
It
But
took a long time waiting for that
yeah,
nine to, the ones were quick, but the nines, they were,
that's why you had to call the operator for long distance
it
call.
was
Otherwise,
faster.
you'd
Yeah.
be there for an hour. But
It
I
was
think
satisfying though. You get your finger in there, you get it kind of stuck and you move, and then you have to release your finger, wait for it to go back.
huh.
Yeah, because you couldn't force it back because it would actually go slower. So it was really brilliant. Um, but yeah, so you had to actually call, someone would answer. They would typically, the proper answer is hello.
Mhm.
Sometimes you say your residence, but I thought that's a little presumptuous because they should introduce themselves. The caller should say their name first.
So so Thomas Edison
Hmm.
was the one who invented the word hello. It was based off a British kind of expression, and but it wasn't hello. But so he kind of coins the word hello.
Yeah,
His his suggestion for the phone companies to instruct the phone user, because
yeah,
they people had to be instructed first how to use the phone,
yeah.
would be to sign off by saying that is all. I like that idea.
Yeah, and then you hang up
And you hang up. And
anytime in the conversation.
yes, whenever someone says that is all, and then you
Just
say, okay, hang up. And then I don't know. I like the idea of parents trying to think of non-internet based, non-technological based phone options for their
it's like
kids.
a walkie-talkie.
Right.
And
Breaker.
but you're talking about a landline now. Do they
Yeah.
even have landlines?
Yeah.
Do you have one?
No. And
I don't think we do.
I will say
We
that I got
might.
rid of mine in protest because even today, a landline is more dependable than a phone, than an iPhone.
But they're going away,
No, well, no, they're still around.
are they?
Yeah.
When's the last time you called somebody on a landline?
Landline.
I mean, I don't even know your landline number.
I don't have one anymore, but I
No, I've
mean,
never called you on your landline.
we used to, because that was
Really?
the only one when we first moved into the last house I was in,
Really?
that we had a landline.
Oh,
That's the last time we had one. It would have been about 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
okay.
And so, because remember, I didn't have a phone, like a handy, a portable phone.
Yeah.
I didn't have one of those until, um,
You're one of the last.
yeah.
But now you have like 50 apps
I
on your
do not have
smartphone
50.
phone.
I have 20 apps,
You were
maybe.
gonna go flip phone forever, and then you crossed the Rubicon.
Well, because when I went to T-Mobile to get a new flip phone, they didn't have one. Now they're hip again. But the problem is now I can't get baseball tickets unless I have a daggum iPhone.
So baseball tickets are more important to you than the principal.
Yes.
Well, they mail you the tickets? I thought they would do that.
They will charge you extra money though. I'm too Jewish. I mean, I'll go. I may have a problem with the technology, but
It's a sign of the beast. You can't purchase baseball without the phone. Uh,
that probably is a sign of the
yeah,
beast.
this is
So
it. That's a We're there. It's all around us. Wars and rumors of war.
Rumors of wars. Well, there you go.
There we go. What's the thing you say at the end of the?
That is all.
That is all. We need to start using that. We usually say goodbye in German.
That is
But we're
all,
just gonna
Steve.
say that is all. And before I even open my mouth, you'll come out.
All right. That's kind of fun.
Fun for us, certainly.
Yeah. I don't know how it'll be for the people listening to this, but yeah. Well, with that, we shall say adieu. We thank you, everyone, for listening. We appreciate it. And
patient. Very patient of you. Made it to the end.
Made it to the end. And I shall say adieu, Herr Dr. Bourgeois.
Auf Wiedersehen. And that is
It's
all.
all.